Hello and welcome. I'm really glad to be here to share a little bit of the story of HomeToGo with you. We founded HomeToGo 2014, and today we are Europe's leading vacation rental group. When we talk about how did we came there, because we obviously didn't start it there are a few things that guided us on this way, and I think it's a playbook that for every entrepreneur can be of use. So the first topic I wanted to talk about is staying persistent while being flexible. And what do I mean with that? In the first place, it sounds very contradictory to say okay, you should be persistent, but at the same time flexible. But in the end, it isn't. Because every company needs an idea, needs a vision, like you say in English language. And you need to follow a path where you can go, where your idea can lead to, but you have to be very, very flexible on that way, because as many of you might know this meme, right? So success, especially if you look backwards, often looks like a straight line, though it isn't. Success, in the end, has setbacks, sometimes even pivots, turnarounds. So usually it more looks like what you can see on the right side. And success means also that you have to find your own way there. What do I mean with that? So in the end, you have to be flexible in achieving what you want. You have to test yourself. You have to have a product mindset. You have to iterate and adapt to the environment to finally reach your goal. And now you ask, what has this to do with HomeToGo? Actually, a lot. Because when we started HomeToGo, so one of the things that is very, very important for a company to be also on this journey and be flexible is, from our perspective, to start in a big market and choose your right niche. So when we started HomeToGo, we chose meta search in vacation rentals. And the story of HomeToGo is also a story of people not believing in us. So people told us, why is the meta search needed? There's Google, Airbnb is coming up. It was 2014. And so we said, no, we believe it's actually needed, because it doesn't make sense that there's meta search for flights and hotels only, but not for the fragmented and super unprofessional market of vacation rentals, where actually a global comparison, a global overview was much more needed. So we started that and were quite successful, took over our American competitor in 2017, and even on top of that, are by today the marketplace with the largest selection of vacation rentals globally. And then we understood, okay, there is the problem of some of our partners not converting if we send traffic out. So we took the idea, okay, we make them directly bookable on our site. And again, people came to us and said, oh, no meta search ever managed to do this. Look at Kayak, look at TripAdvisor. They all tried direct booking, but it didn't work. We did it again against all the odds, and by today, in our marketplace segment, in the largest market, the German-speaking market for us, 85% of our revenues are actually coming from these direct bookings on the marketplace. And further on, we said, okay, nice, what we can do on the marketplace, helping our partners to be more successful by having them more integrated into the platform, we thought we can also offer that outside of our platform. So that's where we launched B2B software and services in 2020. People told us, oh, that will take ages prior you will earn money with that. Fast forward 2024, we already do 30% or did 30% of our revenues with B2B, and next year it will be more than 50%. Again, we've proven that we can do it. Then we went IPO during Corona, in 2021, where no one wanted to invest into travel. That worked out also quite well. And we said we want to be adjusted EBITDA break even by 2023. People said, seeing is believing. And again, we did it. And the last point, we just heard it, we acquired this year Interhome, Europe's second largest vacation rental management company, for $250 million, where people also believe we couldn't finance that, and so on and so on. So that's our journey, how we became actually Europe's leading vacation rental group. And this this is a way that we choose ourselves. So we did things our own way. And that brings me to point number 2, don't be afraid to do things differently. So what do I mean with that? Yeah, it doesn't mean that you should basically like do everything on your own and reinvent everything. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense to look what others have done and stay, as they say, on the shoulders of giants, because you don't maybe want to lose the money or invest the money yourself where others have learned through their mistakes. But you always have to look what this means for you, your company, your business model, and especially the stage you are in. Yeah, because otherwise there is no like blueprint for success. You always have to think, what should I adapt? What should I use? And maybe what can I do completely differently? And that's also what we did at HomeToGo. Yeah, so we have a lot of different things that we did differently. As said, we were the first tech spec IPO actually in 21. Yeah, we also didn't celebrate our IPO at the stock exchange because we thought it's a bit too expensive to spend a few €100,000 just to ring the bell and not let the team participate. So what we did, you see the picture, it looks like we're in the stock exchange, but it's actually a video wall in our headquarters in Berlin. Yeah, so everyone could do these nice pictures. And you see it on the right, we put in like a massive truck in front of the Frankfurt Stock Exchange to nonetheless let them hear that we went public. Yeah? We have our own OKR system, adapted. That's probably why it works for us. Yeah, but it's an own version how we use it. And there are numerous of these kind of stories that we had throughout the time. And we are not just like an Airbnb copy. Yeah, so we started for vacation rentals for rural destinations, for professionally managed inventory. And we doubled down on that. We are not going into experiences or these types of things. We're actually doubling down with the acquisition of Interhome to really like be fully in this like kind of vertically integrated into the value chain of vacation rentals, to be the expert of vacation rentals. And when you think, how is this possible? It's only possible to do your own way if you build from the inside out. What do I mean with that? Is, in the first place, it's about the people you have. Yeah, so you want people that actually like grow up within your company and can take over jobs. We have a lot of people within HomeToGo in the leadership that have started their career here or spend a long time of their career within HomeToGo. That doesn't mean you shouldn't like have external talent coming to your company, but there's one thing that we really believe in. It's actually a quote from Steve Jobs, right? Like, that the best managers don't want to be managers. You might have heard it, right? Like, and that's the only way how you can learn it is usually if you grow the people also on your own within the company. And the second part is you want that people live your brand. Yeah. So obviously it's easy for us to say people feel connected to our product because travel. Yeah, most of the people like vacation and travel. But on the other side, it's also important that people use your product, not only the digital product, but also the actual product you're selling. So in our case, the vacation. Yeah, people utilizing HomeToGo. And also, you want to celebrate the wins together with your team, even if it's be like the sponsorship of a local football club, like we did with Union Berlin. Yeah, so, and this is like, in the end, then the ultimate test if you see that your people wearing your merch, not only if they stand on the stage or somewhere else, but really like also in their free time with proud that they are a part of this company. And that brings me to my fourth point, yeah? Because not everything you can build. It's also interesting to look around you and think around what you might rather acquire, and in this case, acquire strategically. So HomeToGo, we acquired over the time that we are around, like more than 15 companies. Yeah, and also some asset deals on top. But what we actually did throughout that time was always looking not just for collecting logos, yeah, because that's not what you should do. We really looked for what fits the current part of our journey and what adds value from day one to the company. And one thing was very important for us. We are not trusting in synergies. For sure, you should have an idea for synergies. But the one most important thing for us was always to acquire companies that are already profitable, because these companies add value from day one, and synergies are just something on top. Plus, for sure, once we have the companies, we work together with the current management team. We look where we also can lift synergies, but especially the network effects out of the HomeToGo group to actually grow the respective businesses. So we really differentiate. We are not fully integrating. We are adding. We are really looking into to utilize the strength of the targets that we acquire. And that makes us so far, a really good buy and build a company also on the M&A part, and part of the reason why we became Europe's leading vacation rental group. And that brings me to my last point: never stop evolving. So when we went public in 21, some people told me like, "Oh, you have won the founders game. Yeah, you have played it through." And I said, "Yeah, I don't see that actually. I rather see it as the next level, because goals evolve as well. It's not only like hopefully that you evolve, but also goals evolve." And so it's very, very important. We talked in the beginning about like being persistent but still flexible. That I see as a superpower of entrepreneurs, like having this kind of mindset. But there's one other thing that is very important as an entrepreneur, and we call it humble curiosity. What do I mean with that? So you can never know everything, and in the end, the world is moving all the time. So you must evolve, must learn, must iterate, must get better all the time. So if I stand here in 5 years, I hope that a large percentage, or at least a good percentage of the stuff that I was believing in, I'm now having maybe a different thought on, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have learned, wouldn't have like grown, and wouldn't have evolved myself. And the same obviously counts for the company. And there's even more one thing, because we talk a lot about Europe here when we are at this Bits and Pretzels. And I think also like Europe needs to evolve. Yeah, Europe needs to go the next step in sovereignty. Europe really has to do and look for its own way. Or how we say at HomeToGo.
Some companies were born in Silicon Valley. Us? We started next to a kebab shop in Berlin. And yes, we are. Pretty proud of that. Built for people who get how Europe really works. For those who know you don't need to go far to feel far. And who brave cobblestones in their best shoes. For the ones who know summer means no plans. And who make lunch last till dinner. Real people, real places, real stays. Darling, this summer, stay European, stay with HomeToGo.
So, as you can see, it's not summer anymore outside, and also officially from the calendar. But nonetheless, so this video was actually done with AI, as you might imagine, although it says real places, real stays. So it was our test out prior VO3, not even VO3. But it was part of a campaign where we really wanted to make sure that people understand how important Europe is and how you can also like live and use European products. Yeah, because HomeToGo consists of the HomeToGo marketplace, where you can book vacation rentals, but on the other side, also our B2B solutions. So there are a lot of European solutions that we offer, and for you, if you want to search for your next getaway, and try HomeToGo out, this is a voucher of 50 euros, so you can just like download the app and then test it. It's actually very easy to use, and you will see bigger selection, larger selection of vacation rentals globally, comes usually with better prices, so enjoy that. And with that, I thank you very much for listening to me, for having me, and stay strong, stay European. Thank you very much.